Welcome back, everybody. So next, it's my pleasure to welcome two of my colleagues on stage. First, Aanchal Malhotra, Senior Software Engineer, Cryptography. And secondly, Greg Weisbrod, Senior Software Engineer. They're both going to discuss the XLS20 standard, the XLS20 standard proposal for NFTs on the XRPL, and we'll include a Q&A with this session as well.
Thanks, Jez. Good morning, everyone. I'm extremely delighted to be here in front of you all today at Apex, our developers community, to talk about non-fungible tokens on XRP Ledger. Before we get into the meat of the presentation, let's review different kinds of tokens. So there are basically three different kinds of tokens: fungible tokens, semi-fungible tokens, and non-fungible tokens. But before we describe that, what is a token? Generally speaking, a token is a representation of an asset or utility. And within the context of blockchain technology, tokenization is the process of converting anything of value into a digital token that is usable. For instance, it can provide as a gateway to different blockchain applications. Now, tokens can be categorized broadly into three different categories. The fungible tokens, these are the most intuitive ones, right? Any fungible entity in economic terms refers to its capability for interchangeability with the asset or good of the same value. The most common example being currency or money. Similarly, gold could be another example of a fungible asset. The second type, semi-fungible token, or SFTs, these can be traded as both fungible as well as non-fungible assets. And an SFT can have a fungible value which can be traded with another SFT of the same value. But once this asset is used, this token is used or redeemed, it basically loses its value and could then become an NFT. For example, we can think of concert tickets as an example. So two concert tickets with the same concert date and price and seat can be initially swapped with each other. But once the concert is over, the ticket actually loses its value. And it's only a collectible now, which can be called as an NFT. The third kind of token is the non-fungible token, which is also the focus of the talk today. And unlike fungible tokens, non-fungible tokens are indivisible. They are unique. Each NFT is unique and has an inherent value. And so they cannot be actually interchanged or used for payment purposes. All right, so let's talk about tokenization on XRP Ledger. So XRP Ledger offers support for tokens, and many of you might know them as IOUs, or issued assets. And these assets are primarily fungible. That is, they can be traded between the users for XRPs or other issued assets on XRP Ledger's native decentralized exchange. And this makes them perfect for payments. And not just fungible tokens, even today with the existing objects and transactions, it is possible to issue non-fungible tokens on XRP Ledger. And this has been implemented by the XRPL lab team. And it is, as David alluded to it, it's XLS 14 standard. And this it's a very, very interesting way of issuing non-fungible tokens with the current objects. However, it still leaves room for a richer feature set and more capabilities that we want to give to our developers community so that they can build more advanced and innovative NFT applications on the XRP Ledger. And so we came up with a new standard, XLS 20, which specifies objects and transactions to provide native NFT support on XRP Ledger. And by no means a comprehensive list. It provides some of these advantages for native support for NFTs on XRP Ledger. The first one being this proposal allows for a very efficient mechanism for storing and holding NFTs on the XRP ledger with the introduction of a new data structure. Second, it allows for the NFTs to be bought, sold, and transferred on XRP Ledger's decentralized exchange and I'll talk about it more later, via buy and sell offers. It also allows for, and this is really cool, it allows for the issuer of the NFTs to issue burnable and non-burnable tokens, meaning the tokens that could have some temporal aspect associated with them. Also, it allows for the issuers to issue transferable and non-transferable tokens. And this is really, it's extremely useful for issuing certain kind of tokens. Some of the examples would be a credential token, for instance, which describes verifiable claims about a subject. Or you can think about impact tokens, such as carbon credit tokens, or financing tokens, for example, that gives payment rights for some received services. These kind of tokens. So issuer can actually specify access restrictions on the tokens. And last but not the least, ability to specify transfer fee. And this is, as we all know, extremely useful feature for the content creators who can actually earn royalties in the form of transfer fee on the secondary sale of their content. All right, so now let's get into some more technical and implementation details of XLS20. So the idea was to keep the proposal really simple and powerful, but at the same time flexible enough so that we can accommodate more future use cases. In the light of this, we have two new objects on the XRP ledger. The first one, we call it NF token, and as the name suggests, it represents a single NFT and holds the data associated with the NFT, and it is uniquely identified by its token ID. There are several flags that the issuer can set that would specify what kind of NFT it is. As I talked about, it could be burnable, non-burnable, transferable, and they can also set the transfer fee. The second object is the NF token offer object. And again, as the name suggests, it represents an offer to buy, sell, or transfer an NF token object. And this is really cool, and this is something that really sets apart NFTs issued on XRP Ledger from NFTs on other blockchains, because we have this native decentralized exchange on XRP Ledger where you can trade the NFTs. This object, NF token offer object, contains the owner's field and flags to tell whether if it's a buy offer or a sell offer. It also contains amount field, which indicates the amount offered or expected for a certain offer. It also contains an expiration field, which tells after what time the offer is no longer valid. And the last one is really cool. There's this destination field where the issuer of, the creator of the offer can actually specifically tell the account ID for which this offer is intended. And if this field is set, the account ID in the destination field is the only one who can accept this offer. All right, other than the two objects, we also introduce a new ledger structure, and it's called NF token page, which is basically a collection of NF token objects. So each NF token represents a single NFT, whereas NF token page is a collection of all these tokens associated with a single account. And this is a new data structure. It provides an efficient mechanism for searching, adding, and removing tokens. Each page allows for up to 35 NF tokens, and there is an incremental reserve associated with each NF token page for an account. And then we have a few new transactions that assist in minting, burning, and trading of NFTs on the XRP ledger. So the first one is NF token mint transaction that creates an NF token object and adds it to the relevant NF token page of the minter. And this is where The minter can actually specify the transfer fee. They may also set a URI field. There's a specific field that called URI field, and the minter can specify a URI. That could be an HTTP, HTTPS URI, a URL, or an IPFS URI, or anything for that matter, that could point to the metadata associated with the NF token, the specific NFT, and which is usually, we would expect it to be stored off ledger. We do not check for the validity of the URI, but there is an upper limit to the maximum length of this URI field, which is 512 bytes. It is during this transaction that the issuer can also set flags for the kind of NFT it is, like if it's burnable, transferable, non-transferable, and can also set the transfer fee, as I mentioned already. All right. So the second transaction is the NF token burn transaction. And again, as the name suggests, it removes the NF token object from the NF token page, effectively removing it from the ledger. And in the process, it is possible that it empties an NF token page, or might result in the consolidation of two different NF token pages, in which case the reserve requirement is reduced accordingly. This was about minting and burning, but we also have new transactions for trading the NF tokens on the decentralized exchange, on XRP Ledger's decentralized exchange. So the first transaction, the first new transaction is the NF token create offer, which basically creates, which is used to create a sell offer or a buy offer. A sell offer can only be created by the owner or the issuer of the NFT, whereas a buy offer for an NFT can be created by any account. The second transaction is the NF token cancel offer, which is used to cancel the existing token offers in the exchange, in the decentralized exchange that was created using NF token create offer transaction. And there are at least 4 ways that a particular offer can be canceled. First, it can be canceled by the actual creator of the offer. Second, it can be canceled by the issuer of the NF token, who might not necessarily be the owner at the time if the appropriate flag is set. An offer can also be canceled by the account in the destination field if one is set, right? This offer is specifically for this account, and they may also cancel the offer. And fourth, it can be canceled by any account if it is past the expiration time. Then this third transaction, we have NF token offer accept transaction. And this is basically used to accept a buy or a sell offer. And it works in 2 different modes. It could work in 2 different modes. The first one is the direct mode, which is simple, as the name suggests. It is used to accept a single buy or sell offer. The second one, brokered mode, and pay attention, this is really cool. The brokered mode is used to accept 2 distinct offers, one offering to buy a given NF token, and the other offering to sell the same NF token atomically. Now, this is basically brokered mode functionality is useful if the issuer of an NF token wants to offer their token to be sold by a third party. If this transaction is successful, this third party can actually sell the token on behalf of the issuer without actually ever having to own the token or custody any funds, because once the transaction is successful, the funds are transferred directly from the seller to the buyer. This was about the objects and the transactions, but we also introduce a few new optional fields to the account root of the issuer of the NFTs. So the first field is mint account. It's an optional field. It specifies an alternate account which is allowed to execute the NF token mint and NF token burn operations on behalf of the account. So we can think of an issuer who might want to actually issue tokens from their well-known address or account on the XRP ledger, but at the same time want to delegate the right to mint or burn the token to another account. Now, they cannot possibly give their private key to this third party, but what they can do is they can set that account into the mint account, and then this mint account can actually execute mint and burn transactions on behalf of this account. The second field is the minted tokens, which is used during the computation of the unique token ID for the tokens issued by this account. And the third one is the burned tokens, which actually keeps a track of the number of active NF tokens associated with any account. Right, so this is it. This was about XLS 20, and the implementation of this draft is in works, and hopefully soon we'll be releasing it on DevNet and testnet for you all to start tinkering and experimenting with it. Before I leave the stage, I would like to give you a sneak peek into some of the many, many amazing projects that are coming up in terms of NFTs on XRP Ledger. The first one that I'll mention is the Equerel Metaverse, which brings Metaverse to the XRP Ledger. And this project is going to build an open source NFT library to mint and transact art NFTs on XRP Ledger. Also, a web-based NFT marketplace that would let users to mint, explore, buy, and sell art NFTs on XRP Ledger's decentralized exchange. Also, a WebGL 3D virtual gallery that would let users, again, to explore, customize, and interact with the NFT collections. The second project is Craftcraft. And this project brings XRP Ledger technology to the amazing game of Minecraft that we all can, at some level, relate to, I guess. This project is going to build a plugin that would allow XRP transactions, NFT issuance, and in-game property rights, issuance of NFTs and in-game property rights. And the unique features of NFTs on XRP Ledger that this project leverages is the NFT offer support. And again, I would say this is something that really sets NFTs on XRP Ledger apart from NFTs on other blockchains. That is the support for trading on XRP Ledger on the decentralized exchange. That's this project. That's something that this project is going to leverage. And another is the native support to delegate royalties in the form of transfer fee, which incentivizes the server operators to maintain healthy and active markets. And I'll briefly mention a couple of more projects. Another one is Carbon Land Trust Protocol that will issue ESG NFTs on XRP Ledger that represents future carbon credits. These are kind of impact tokens. And again, these could be traded on the decentralized exchange on XRP Ledger. Then Valory.me and Clever.gallery are both along the same lines. They have their marketplaces that will enable artists and creators to show their work in digital galleries. And with this, I think I'm done, yes. But yes, my friend, my colleague Greg is going to show you an amazing demo of everything that I talked about. So, Greg, the stage is yours.
Woo!
Thanks. You want this?
Oh, no, thank you. Hi, everybody. Thank you, Aanchal. Am I up here? Very excited to show you guys a working demo of all of the NFT functionality that Aanchal just described. We are connected to an actual RippleD server, so this is not a UI demonstration only. We're actually minting NFTs. Let's do this. Let's mint some NFTs. So we have a edge build of the Sum app. Thank you, Vita and Ali from XRPL Labs. So let's first log in as Alice. Here we go. And oh, let me just refresh. Let's try one more time. This is the fun thing about demos. There we go. So let's mint a token. For this demo, the content is textual, but it could be an image, it could be whatever. I just learned last night that there's another conference happening here right now, a packaging conference that Amy, one of our MCs, Uncle Jim is at. So I think we should mint an NFT to commemorate this. It's called PackX, so PackX 2020. Hi, Jim. Waiting for the push notification. Or, here it is. And we've actually submitted this transaction to that Ripple D instance mentioned earlier. So, given an NFT, we can now see in this case, our NF token mint transaction had gone through. And as Alice, the seller, the issuer, I can burn a token, but let's make a sell offer. This is in XRP. I think this NFT is worth easily 100 XRP. And so now I'm going to sign a create NF token offer. Hooray, we did it. So now we can see this offer. Let's log out, log in as Bob. Oh, we got to switch to Bob. Don't forget that. And actually, before I do this, before I accept the offer, let's note the balance. You'll see the balance change as a result of accepting this offer. And we'll find the token, PackX 2021. I really want this. Got to accept this offer. And now we have an NF token offer accept transaction. And here we go. So before I show you in the web app, let's verify that the balance, my balance did indeed change, it was decremented. And I now own this extremely rare token. And we can see the transactions rather related to this NFT that have propagated to the network. As a final step, let's burn it, which as the owner I can now do. I've decided, I think, the reason I want to burn this is that I don't want anyone to get their hands on this rare token. I'm very protective of PackX 2021. And so this would be an NF token burn transaction. And there we go. So finally, we can see that we've minted a token with one account using NF token mint. The seller created an offer with NF token create offer. A different account accepted that offer, and we were thereby able to transfer the ownership of the token, and the new owner was able to burn it. So we're very excited to see what you all build with the new NF token functionality on XRP Ledger. XRP Ledger has NFTs, and so can you. Thank you, everybody.